Morning to the day number two of your Kabir Doha. So yesterday on the day one, we are went through the very amazing, like a first part of the Doha. So what was the first yesterday? दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, तो दुख काहे को होए. The mantra is very simple, and this is the whole crunch of the real happiness. So we all think of the Lord when trouble, never when at a peace. But if you held our faith during the peace, there will be no trouble at all. So please make sure that when the practice every day you are holding. So the God is a nature, whatever you can call it as that one. I'm not going into the concept. I told you yesterday also. Generation, operator, and the destructor. Very simple part of that one. I ask you for the self-inquiry. I told you that when there is a four most important benefits or things that will be get once you apply this one to life. Now today's second wins every Toa what I selected is my favorite by the way. But now this is the second one. बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा ना मिलिया कोई जो मन खोजा आपना तो मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. Now this is very interesting one. Let me tell you the story. This is a story of the a very big Sufi saint. So this Sufi saint actually what happened? He was to do a lot of meditation and sadhana and everything. And one day he feel that when he got a realization. So what he feel that one is something very great is happening to his life, and he got this realization. So after he feel that when he got the realization, what he done? He went to the king of the his place, and when he went to the king of his place and he told that one people should be do like this way, people should be like that way, we can transform the whole world, this one that one and all this part. And then afterwards everybody was laughing on him. So the king rejected him, everybody was laughing him. So this Sufi saint didn't understand what went wrong. So then he come back slowly. He went back to his home. Then he start doing his own sadhana. He speaking, starts looking into he changed his behavior. He changed everything of his own part. And once he changed his own part, what happened? His energy changed, his aura changed. And the people around him start changing. And when the people around him start changing, then that village start changing. Then villages become like that whole district start changing. Then from that district it is start changing into the more and more places. And then that news is reached to the king. And then king himself is invited that one. What was exactly you want to share? So please understand this is the one word that I want to tell you. It is called as a be and make. Please write down today's, if you ask me this one, this whole shloka, it is the be and make. Complete of the be and make. This is the whole goal or the game of the be and make. बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा ना मिलिया कोई जो मन खोजा आपना तो मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. Why? Because he's trying that one. Bura is your concept, so the good and the bad, everything is there. So I set out the fine flawed men and couldn't find any. When I finally prepare inside myself, I found that one no man in this world has this problem. So please remember, this is what is the Kabir. So he's giving you the like a real application. So please write down here. It's having the very deep spiritual missing. It's a detailed explanation. Like a surface meaning is very simple. So Kabir Das begins with the idea of searching the faults in the others, like most of us we do actually, correct? The initial human tendency is to look outward, to find the flaws, to find out the mistakes and shortcomings in the people around us, correct? Are you agree or not? If you are agree, just see that one key that who are all the people who have done the homework. So this homework is very important. So we are not going to the self. I asked you yesterday, you have to go to the self. But we are so busy to find the flaws, mistakes, and shortcomings in the people around us. But what is the turning point? See, when the Kabir was doing this search, it's a very difficult life of the Kabir. Huh? Here, everybody was against him. Hindu was against him, Muslim was against him. Everybody was against him. Why? Because he was completely challenged the some karma kandas. He challenged that one. Even his family was converted to the Muslim. He was a born Hindu, but in a scheduled caste. From there, people actually tried to, his family was converted in a Banaras. Then he's become a Muslim. But he was always chanting the Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. He was a big devotee of that one. So, and then he was talking very rational things. are very practical things. And the people was not liking them because people wanted everybody to keep below their legs. So continue this Kabir ka own search, and he surprisingly find that no one truly bad. So so his journey of blame leads him nowhere. Instead, when he turns his gaze inward and begin the introspection, he realizes the greatest faults lies within himself. So he work on himself. Please remember, this is a self-awareness and the self-correction. So when you can do the self-correction, tell me. When can you do the self-correction? Please type in the chat box. When you can do the self-correction. Everybody quickly. When we can do the self-correction. So when we can do the self-correction. See, I don't want to give you the another pravachan actually. When aware of our own mistake, that is something called as the self-awareness. So yesterday's exercise was about the self-awareness. Yes, Vijayji, that is amazing. So the self-awareness is the first step to do the self-correction. So please write down in your book, self-awareness is required to do the self-correction. So you don't have the self-awareness, you cannot do the self-correction. Please remember that it's the importance of the inner reflection rather than the outward journey. See, last 6 months, I was working on the only the chala project, and I was working on myself. So then I find out how the transformation really happens. Who are the people who are really qualified for transformation? Where the things happens? And the transformation, coaching, training, mentoring, the first step is the self-awareness. Because till you don't know where is the problem, you cannot solve the problem. So this is the inner reflection. So Kabira is telling to you again and again. So instead of emphasizing that blaming others is easy, but the real growth comes from the realizing our own weakness. We can blame the others throughout the whole life. Like yesterday night, something is happened. I want to blame somebody, but I try to control myself. Why? Because it was my fault in one way. But now we can find it out. Oh, these people like that way. That people is like that way. They are not understand. That is a human mind ka tendency. But the root of dissatisfaction often lies within our own thought, ego, and explanations. So please write down core life lessons from this shloka. First one is the self-introspection is the key. Please write down. I will not share so much things in the group because it is the energy game. So we require that type of energy. So when we see the people are really energetic and everything, then something is happened. So write down, if you want to share in that one, then write down the core life lesson from this shloka. First thing is the self-introspection is the key. So everybody just write it down that one. I promise to do the my self-introspection. Write down in the group. I'm keep the group open, create the some energy there. So the real changes begins when we stop pointing fingers at others and start examining ourselves. So please everybody, if you are ready for it, then promise that one. Just type into the WhatsApp group. Self-introspection is the key. So I am going to do the my self-introspection. I promise to do my self-introspection. Just write down that one. Even the SI. I promise to do the SI. Even you don't write down the self-introspection. Let the people also get some energy on that one. SI is the self-introspection. Second lesson is the let go of judgment. Why? Why the Kabir is telling that one? Nobody is perfect. But why Kabir is telling that one? बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा ना मिला कोई. Why is telling like that way? Why? Because he has removed his judgment. See, the same person is a good and the bad. Same person's people view changes. Now I work more than 1,10,000 people in my life, and I'm telling you that 1,10,000 people has the 10 lakhs images of me. Not even 1,10,000 images, 10 lakhs images of me. Why? Because every time the way I behave with them or their energy or everything, they'll be there. And maybe I have my judgment, they have their judgments. So often the criticisms we direct toward others is a reflection of something unresolved within ourselves. So please remember that one. I am ready to do my self-introspection. Amazing, Vijayaji. What about the others? How many of you are ready to really do the your self-introspection? Second, please write down. This is the core. What is this knowledge now? I'm telling you that one. It's bring the tears in my eyes every day whenever I listen this particular dohas. Because it is not only the theory, it is a connection now. Let go of the judgment. So my life, I also keep on judgmenting so many peoples and everything. So it is a judgment is of no use. And third thing is that one personal responsibility. So please remember, that's why I call as the project as a be and make. What about the others? Are they there or they are not there actually, ma'am? See, I really don't like it is just the YouTube upload, then I can do it. But it is not the YouTube upload. Jaya, Binni, Jain, Jain, Sahib, Swati. So you have to write into the this one, into the group. I am ready to do my self introspection. I given you the steps today. These are the very, very important steps. And without that one, nothing will be happen. So please remember, guys, first step is that one. Second step is the let go of the judgment. Third thing is the personal responsibility. So what is your personal responsibility now? Rather than blaming the world, Kabir invite us to take ownership of our thoughts, actions and emotions. Please write in. Our thoughts, actions and emotions. Please take them that one. This is the whole game changer. Our thoughts, actions and emotion is the game changer. And the fourth and the final application is the ego check. So it teaches us to tame the ego. So we are trying, we are very great or something. So please remember that one, it's a superiority complex. So remember in modern applications now, we can apply this shloka in the relationship. So instead of finding the faults in partners, friends or family, introspect and see how your own behavior contributes to their problem. See now, maybe some things we can do in our own. Then in society, before criticizing the leaders, organizations or the systems, evaluate whether your own actions are aligned with the values you expect from the others. So this is what yesterday I had a discussion with one friend and he was blaming for everything to the government and everything. I told no. In our society, he is blaming for something. I told you, you take a responsibility. Then in a self growth. So the true spiritual emotional maturity comes when we constantly look within to grow, correct, and elevate ourselves. And that is the timeless message. So please remember, it is the inner peace, better relationship, and authentic living. So please, if you are understand this one, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Bajrang Bali. Let's close the session now. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niravaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu. महाकश्चित दुख भाग में जय श्री राम जय बजरंग बली ओम नमः शिवाय बम बम बोले जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय।